Yo, what's up? Another episode of Nothing Nice. First and foremost, I'm a little annoyed. We're going to get into all that. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. I'm here with my boy Mook. What's good, brother? Mook Jones in the house.
What's happening with you?
I got my boy E, my brother. You good, brother?
On, man?
Yeah.
Sure.
You had a good week?
Oh, you know, my week has been lovely.
Lovely? Yeah, I don't know why. Solid week, my boy?
Yeah, I think I got show a little accountability today.
A little accountability.
I gotta walk some things back today.
Listen, sometimes
I'm just gonna be listening to y'all. I'm just gonna be a listener. I'm a listener.
The petty party is partying already. But let's get into it. So we just gonna jump right into the finals. We're recording this on the Thursday. We still got at least a game to go. Right now, Boston is putting foots to behinds right now. They definitely put in foots. So
I'm just curious. What did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
What's up, Petty?
What
did I call it?
Yeah, what was your
All right, so Petty Wop, what I called it was Dallas in 6.
6?
But Petty Crocker, we gonna get into all of this.
6? Okay.
All right, Mook, go ahead.
What'd you say? I'm just saying.
It be your own.
Hey man, you know what, bro?
If your mommy asked.
Hey, bro. I made this bed and I lie in it, man. This is what I said. I said the Celtics would never win a championship with Jaylen Brown and Tatum.
He did say.
And I was talking about that old version of Jaylen Brown. This version of Jaylen Brown, we have not seen. And that's why. And that's what I said. And I said,
he's holding a masterclass.
but this is what I'm saying though.
Yeah. Talk about.
My thing was they would never win a championship because Jaylen Brown would never accept the role of Robin. And I was right. Because Tatum accepted the role as Robin. And Jaylen Brown is Batman. I got it completely wrong. So I was right. I just came to the wrong conclusion. So, and plus, if you would notice, right before this season started, I said that Drew Holiday scares me to death. And if you look at every game, not just looking at the scoreboard, I'm talking about his presence, what he brings to the table. He's the complete difference maker for this team.
So we're going to get to all this. So let's just start first. E, you were right. You've been right so far.
I'm going to let y'all go ahead and do y'all talking, man. All
right, so here's what I'll start off to say. Here's what I'll definitely start off to say. Boston, they just absolutely hooped. Boston came out the gate, game 1. That first quarter, they could not miss. That carried them through game 1. The 2, 3, 4 were pretty even, but that first quarter was a monster. They get to game number 2. Dallas had the lead for a little bit in the first quarter, first half. But by the end of the game, Boston more foots. Game 3, Dallas came out there swinging. Jason Tatum kept them afloat to the end of the first quarter. Jaylen Brown had 6 in the first and 24 in the second half.
Yeah.
Man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing from this, what I'm learning from this is Dallas. I feel like they follow Luka heavily. They follow whatever road Luka's on. If he's down, their heads are down. If his head's up, their heads are up. And because the attitude, the demeanor they have between this series and literally the T-Wolves series or the OKC series is completely different. Just like looking at their body language. Like, what are you seeing?
Luka. Luka. Man, he might be unplayable when it comes to defense. This dude is standing still, man. Every time I looked at him on the basketball court, he was getting blew by. Like,
he's James Harden.
Man, this is crazy.
James Harden from Slovenia.
Man, this is what I'm thinking, man. They need to fly Luka daddy, his brother, big brother, if he got a big brother. Somebody need to fly into Dallas. Sit him on courtside. But when he start crying to the ref, they tell him play some damn ball.
Yeah.
Because he's doing too much crying. It takes me back to when Jalen Brunson in the first round of the playoffs, and he was doing some complaining to the ref, and he looked at his dad, and his dad was like, he was walking back in the tunnel at halftime, and you see his daddy come on the camera. He said, "Man, shut that crap up, play ball." Yeah. And then holding him accountable. I don't know if it's Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he's not listening to his teammates. Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he needs to step up and be a leader. Luka is doing too much complaining. For one, he's taking himself out the game. He's playing against the referees at this point. Because he sure ain't playing against the Celtics. He sure ain't defending nobody. But that's for sure. And like I said, man, Drew Holiday, man, he took this team from being a contender to a championship team. And I was scared of this, man. I was scared of it.
All right, bro, go ahead. This is your chance. You gonna
Where
get
do I begin?
3 uninterrupted minutes. So we just gonna sit here and let you just talk your stuff.
Where do I begin? Let's just start off with game 1. Of course, the Boston Celtics were on fire first quarter, but what we're not talking about is the defense that they were showcasing. With their starting 5, they don't want to switch because they prefer the one-on-one. Luka, if you're gonna beat us, you're gonna get guarded by one of our best defenders, and you're gonna have to score 50 on him to win. Right. We're gonna stop everybody else. Get your 50. I think the first game, what did he have? One assist. No, he had triple double game 3. He had like
game 2.
Game 2.
Yeah, game 1 he had the one assist.
He had like 1 assist or something like that.
Right.
So like they were eliminating everybody else and just saying you will have to do the work. And obviously he couldn't keep up with that, or whatever the case may be. They did make a great run that game. However, they did lose by 18. So with that being said, I just felt like they were just throughout the whole series so far. They just been more level-headed. They've been more defensively aggressive. They're not taking any prisoners. They're missing a lot of threes, but they're making the ones that matter. Yeah. So, all in all, they were always the better team. Porzingis, I know he wanted to die on the floor and stuff like that, and I had all the hopes in the world of him even being able to play throughout the whole entire series. But, man, even without him, they're just getting people they're getting contributions from the 9th and 10th man on the rotation, and you don't really see that in the finals. So, kudos to the GM. Yeah. I forgot his name. He used to coach the team. But shout outs to him being able to create this roster that they got together. And man, yeah.
Man, what's tough about this as well? Just the others. We talked about this in the last episode. What we expect from the others. The others for Boston are outplaying them on offense and defense. Yeah. For Dallas, the only other player who I'm like, okay, he's having a good series for what his role is PJ Washington. He's been playing, he had 15 the other night. He's been playing pretty decent. Mm-hmm. However, everybody else, I'm not gonna lie, they look shook. Yeah, they look shook. Kyrie is shooting his shots. He had a really good night the other night.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Luka has been shooting his shots. I think Luka, honestly, and this is kind of hindsight, but Luka kind of got shook when Jaylen Brown picked his pocket 2 times before halftime.
You would say
one-on-one.
You would say
it was one-on-one. No help, no screen. Just me and him at half court.
He gave up. But you can say shook though.
And also, if you look at that game, man, Kyrie Irving was really in his bad game 3.
Game 3, absolutely.
I think Luka started holding the ball too much, man. Move the ball. I mean, if you got a Kyrie Irving that's cooking, keep feeding that man. I kind of think Luka came in, he tried to do his own thing when he should have just kept feeding Kyrie.
But then you got to also understand, Luka wasn't able to get others involved, or others weren't able to produce throughout the whole entire series. I think Luka's averaging like 30 or 29, 30, something like that. Mm-hmm. And like Kyrie, his running mate, what is it, like 14, 15 a game? Yeah. So it's just like when you're right there, and then the next best player on the team is half of your points, it's just like, all right, he's going. I'm still gonna be doing my thing though. But I just feel like, man, they had a good run. They beat some great teams, and this is just where the road stops. This is where the bus stops, man. This is the last stop on the bus.
And I've been really disappointed in Tim Hardaway Jr. I thought we were really gonna go show up a lot more. I mean,
Yeah, he should have been the third option in this, at least a fourth.
he had what he played like a good 18 minutes. Didn't score no points. Didn't even have a foul. I mean,
He got blocked.
man. I mean,
But,
no
Derek
presence
White.
out there, man. And I would say something about Jones, but my boy on him, so we knew he wasn't gonna be a factor anyway. So
The problem
we
with
knew,
Dallas-
we knew.
Man, when you have a team in Boston that can literally switch everything,
Yeah.
because nobody on Dallas is like an imposing player to where
Right.
I'm gonna muscle you and we're gonna have to really scrap for this. Like, where
They playing muscle ball too. Now, don't get me wrong.
You say Dallas or
Yeah,
Boston?
Dallas is trying to impose, like PJ
But-
Washington.
Okay,
Derek
PJ
Lively,
is.
They're trying to
He's trying to
impose
drive.
themselves.
Lively's catching lobs though. That's
Yeah.
not imposing yourself.
No,
Catching lobs is just
I'm talking about the
athleticism.
physicality of the game.
Well,
They're trying
you're
to-
talking about on offense though.
No. I'm just talking about.
Yeah,
throughout the
I'm
flow of the
talking
game.
about offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just on the offensive front, since they can't impose themselves on offense, like the only two people who can just like get a bucket, like in a finesse style, or maybe Luka putting a little weight on it, is he and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Everybody else, like PJ, will put the ball on the floor, and sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. He's still doing solid, but nobody else. Everybody else, they don't have anybody else on that team that's like, okay, I can bump you, I can push you, and like get a tough layup or like impose some kind of physicality to where
Yeah.
Boston has to, they think twice about getting on this person.
If they're gonna make some noise in this series, they gotta have a third scorer that's gonna put up at least 20 points consistently. If they ain't able to do that, I see them get swept.
I don't necessarily think that's the biggest thing with this. I think the biggest thing is coming down to turnovers. Turnovers and looking at the ref. Because turnovers in game 2, when Luka did that behind the back pass to White, basically, because it wasn't anywhere near his teammate, it's like, come on, bro. These are the turnovers that we do not need right now.
Yeah, but
so this is like a big learning experience for Luka.
It's a big stage. Although Luka's not afraid of the limelight, it's a big stage. I remember watching the finals. I remember watching the Lakers and Detroit finals in 2004.
Yeah.
And I remember when his last name was Maxiell. Jason Maxiell.
Yeah, I remember Mason.
I remember Jason Maxiell did two things in that finals. He did a windmill on a fast break. Boom. Coach called a timeout, took him out the game. Put him back in the game. He did a behind the back pass. Boom. Got to who he was supposed to get to. After the defense got the ball, scored, caught another timeout. He was out the rest of the game.
Yeah, Larry Brown don't play.
Yeah, at all.
Larry Brown does
So
not play.
it's like it's just being disciplined in the moment, even though you're not scared of the moment, because you don't have to be scared of the moment to mess up in the moment.
Right. And here's the thing, I just think, man, we got to give the Celtics their credit, man. These guys, man, for one, they are defending at a very high level. Like Josh said, like JB said, they can switch on all 5 positions. But even more demoralizing is they cannot stop the Celtics offense. The Celtics is looking pretty much unstoppable. At one point, they even went to the zone. That's how desperate they were.
To your point, and to both of you. So we have Luka, he's averaging 29.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, 21. PJ Washington, 14. We look at Boston. Jaylen Brown, 24. Jason Tatum, 21. Derek White, 16. Drew Holiday, 15. Porzingis, 16. They literally have 5 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, averaging more than 15.
Right.
But that just means that
somebody
told me this. It was like the people that's gonna get exposed the most from a defensive standpoint is gonna be Derrick Jones Jr. and
Luka
and PJ Washington. Now Luka's already a defensive liability. From the standpoint,
everybody's driving
from the
past
standpoint
that,
of those are your defensive guys.
Okay.
And they're going to show. The Celtics are going to show people that whatever you saw them do against the Timberwolves, and whatever you saw them do against the Clippers, and whatever you saw them do against whoever else they played,
OKC.
they're going to, OKC, These are bottom 300 players.
Yeah.
And it's being shown in real time.
This just shows that the Timberwolves, if Cat would have imposed his physicality and drove and got to the block and stuff like that, instead of just settling for those threes, the T-Wolves, and I think this would have been a way better series with the T-Wolves in Boston.
Well, and I'm telling you, after this, man, in this series, the only person who stopped going up is Indiana Pacers. Because they was giving Boston a run for their money without this.
I was gonna say Cleveland did too.
Right now,
didn't they get them at 5?
Yeah.
They gotta be.
No, it was 5.
5, yeah.
But remember, Halliburton didn't play 2 of those, and then
No.
And
They
then
got
the last
4,
one,
didn't
no, it was 5.
No,
and then
no.
the last one was competitive. Like some of those games were competitive.
No, they didn't win one.
They didn't win.
Indiana?
That was Broomstick.
They on a 9-game win
missed
streak.
He missed
You're
game
right.
4. He missed
You're
game
right.
4.
So this is my
You're
thing
right.
though. If I'm looking
Cleveland was
at,
the last
if
one
I'm
to beat them.
Indiana, I'm like, man, we're like 1 or 2 pieces away from actually being able to compete. Because they took this team down to the wire every game. Every game in the Indiana series was like one coaching decision away from at least winning 2 of those games in the first 4.
That's why I asked. Like,
They should have won game 1.
Okay.
And they should have probably won game 3 as well. Coaching decisions really cost them. Because they should have fouled. They should have fouled on that inbound pass in game 1 when Jalen hit the 3. Yeah. And in game 3, when Nim, I can't think of this guy's name.
Naismith?
Not Naismith, the other. Neil something. A light-skinned cat. Braids.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name though. I know you're talking
about. That game, he went off that game. They really should have won game 3.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Coaching, but it was poor coaching on the behalf of
Rick Carlisle.
I think that was one of his worst coach series in a long time.
What's crazy about Rick Carlisle, and that I do appreciate from him, Rick Carlisle knows how to get the most. He knows how to squeeze all the toothpaste out of the.
I'm not saying.
Indiana wasn't ready.
Indiana wasn't ready. Use all of your tools. Is what I'm saying.
But
he can do.
But I'm saying the way that they took, the way I haven't seen in this Dallas series, I haven't seen. To me, I don't look at the score. Watching this game,
there's no effort.
The Celtics has been dominant every game. Even I don't even go by the score. Even when they had that 20-2 run, I never felt like the Celtics was in jeopardy of losing that game.
I'll give you a tidbit real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
I think it was game. Was it game 3? It could have been game 2, but I think it was game 3. I think Luka scored on Al Horford. Got an and 1 or something like that, right? Scored on Al Horford, and he was screaming at Al Horford's face, barking at him, talking crazy. Al Horford just did this, just nodded his head. Doing that while he was screaming at him still, when Luka turned his head, he's like, that didn't work. When Luka turned his head, you just know he lost that back and forth that he thought that he would win because he scored on him.
So I think real quick, I just want to interject. Yes, I definitely agree with that because also I think Jason Kidd also knew that his team was, heavily outmatched with this too, and that's why he came out and said, Jaylen Brown's a better player. Because he's like, all right, I got to try to throw something, like some kind of wrench in this machine.
So Jason Kidd, he's trying everything. He's putting everybody out there, man. He's trying everything. Man, it's just not working.
He should have been the best player.
Luka can't match up on the defensive end. And the fact that he's hurt, he's forcing the issue, he's turning over the ball, he's committing crazy fouls. He's clearly not in the game. Luka can shoot a shot against the space. He'll be looking at the referee complaining.
Yo, but bro, okay, think about this too. So Dallas, I feel like they're taking this for granted a little bit because when you think about how hard it is to get to the finals, some teams will get to the finals one time, they'll have their stars there, and they'll think, we can maybe tinker here, tinker there, and we'll be back next year, but they'll never get back to that place again.
Never.
I mean, as great as guys like Steve Nash, AI, Charles Barkley, they only saw their one finals and never got back again.
Steve Nash never saw it.
Oh yeah, Steve Nash.
I'm shaking my head because I don't agree, John.
But But so tell me this: with the Western Conference, how it is? You have OKC. OKC's they're gonna get older. We don't know. This is a good free agency class that's gonna be available.
Yeah.
We don't know who's gonna get what. Then you're gonna have next season.
Yeah.
So we have every reason to believe the Nuggets will do some changes to figure some stuff out. That OKC, they're gonna be older. And they have a whole bunch of rookie contracts over there where they could bring in another really good piece. Yeah. You have the T-Wolves as well, where they have a good team and they can tinker here or there. Like I feel like
I'm not agreeing with that aspect of it. I don't think that they're not taking. I don't think that they're taking it for granted. I just think that the Celtics are on a mission. Yeah. And they will not be denied.
Do you feel like Dallas is giving the best effort they can give?
I feel like
because
Dallas,
I'm seeing a lot of long threes that are being missed that they're not running to rebound.
Man, I feel like Dallas is trying everything in their power. They just overmatched.
They're now committing to.
They're just overmatched.
To a 2-3 zone.
Yeah, they're overmatched.
No, that's the zone. But I'm literally watching them in these games not run to long three rebounds.
Got players that were hustlers, athletic, 6'8" and above, can guard 3, 4, 5, maybe 2s and 1s. They literally went out in the before trade deadline and got quality pieces.
Right.
They're fighting for their lives, but
they trying everything.
Like a friend of mine told me, you're gonna see a difference between the top 150 to 200 players in the league and the bottom 300. The gap is apparent.
I think they're trying their best. Anytime you resort to trying to play mind games of saying Jalen Hurts is man, they trying everything.
Oh yeah,
they even try. They trying everything.
You should have said Jalen Brown's.
I'll be the first one to say, and this coming from me. I gotta give the Celtics their respect, man, because to not only have that target on your back all season, to be the best team all season, and then at the end to put it all together, and man, give Mazzulla credit too as well.
No, absolutely.
He did one heck of a job coaching. And I also said in the last episode, it'll come down to the first and the third quarter. That third quarter was probably one of the best shooting clinics ever in the finals. In the NBA finals, because they didn't miss for like the first 7 minutes of the quarter. Everything they threw up was going in. And the adjustments, man, they made. Man, I'm telling you, man, you just got to give the Celtics their credit, man.
No, for sure.
These guys, man, they're taking it, man.
The Celtics are playing amazing. Like,
you seen that dunk that Jason Tatum got on Lively?
The two-hander?
When he had
I saw that between him and Brown's had a couple highlights in this one too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Brown's gonna pull it back in. He's had a couple of them.
For sure, I'll be so shocked if he's not the Finals MVP.
No, he is.
No, it's. And
you know what would be crazy? You know, I wonder if somebody said it's the Tatum. It's crazy because 10 years from now, when you look back at it, you're gonna have Tatum, who was the first team All NBA player, but the team is gonna be remembered as Jaylen Brown team because
Steph Curry too.
Because think about it, because Jaylen Brown was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and now he's the Western. I mean the NBA Finals MVP. And so when you look back at it, it's gonna be like this was Jaylen Brown team.
And you know what? That's a good way to segue first before we do Dallas in 7. So anyway,
man, they do both.
We taking it one game.
I never knew you to be a smoker.
Take it one day at a time. Alright, so
game at a time.
That's all you can do.
I'm looking for the drugs.
That's all you can do.
You on.
Listen.
Excuse me.
I can do all things through Christ.
You pull the scriptures for him?
No, but
sheesh.
I don't see LeBron.
What Bron did was different. Don't go.
I was gonna say Cleveland had better players too, but no, for real, the Celtics have been playing amazing. No, for sure. Kyrie had that 42-point game in that series. Kyrie went off in that one, but segueing into Finals MVP, so we can all pretty much agree. Brown is gonna be the MVP.
Yeah.
If not him, the runner-up is gonna be Jrue Holiday to me.
There's no way. But
if not Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday for sure.
No, he had one good game.
No, he had a solid 3 games.
He had one good game. That game,
from
game
a
3.
statistical standpoint, from a
Just statistics? No, of course not.
But from like you using your eyes
And watching, he's had his
he's
blueprint
putting
been
on a
on
masterclass.
His blueprint been
of
on
how to guard the
all
best
over
players
every
in the
game.
world.
And the way he's moving without the ball.
But Brown is guarding the best player in Luka.
Yeah, he's definitely guarding.
Jason Tatum said it
the best
himself.
player.
Jason Tatum said it himself in the post.
No, don't get me. You know what? Regardless, MVP final. We have Jaylen Brown. Here's my point. So Jaylen Brown wins this Finals MVP.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean for Boston going forward? And what does it mean for his place and Tatum's place going forward?
You want to go first?
E, you go first on this one.
Oh. To me, absolutely nothing. I've been one to say that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are like a super duo. It's just that this is Jaylen Brown's time. Jason Tatum is gonna absolutely have his time. He's had his time throughout the years, throughout this duo. This right here is just Jaylen Brown's time. Jaylen Brown is just locked in defensively. Jaylen Brown is locked in offensively. Jaylen Brown is locked in as a playmaker. And for some reason, he is able to get to that right like it's no man's business.
We all know he's going right.
And it's not even just that he's getting to the right to drop to the basket. He's getting to the right. He's getting to his right hand to get to his spots. And like, I don't know if the boys know, but it's like,
yeah,
make him go left. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just his time, and that's just what happens with basketball. Sometimes it can be one person's time. Sometimes it can be another person's time. Like Steph Curry, it took Steph Curry six tries at the finals to win Finals MVP. You know, it was just his time to win it. You know
that's
what I'm
crazy.
saying?
He should have won it the first time.
No, he shouldn't have. He played horribly.
We'll revisit. He led the team in points and assists.
Horribly.
He led the team in points.
He had 15-point games in that.
He led the team, not in the winning games. In the game that they lost, yes, he did. But in the games that they won, and in the games period, he led in points and assists. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Mook. How do you feel about this? That's crazy.
I think winning covers a multitude of sins. It won't be a problem right now, but when they have a rough patch in the season next year, and they have going through rough patches, they might revisit this again.
That championship fatigue.
Yeah, but right now, Jason Tatum gonna go on to sign this major deal this year, his max, super max. They're gonna run it. They're gonna say they're running it back. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Right now they're saying all the right things. They're gonna celebrate this first championship. It's kind of like getting that proverbial monkey off your back. So I think it'll be. I really think next year, man, they're gonna be even more dangerous. And I hate to say that because
really,
and just because when you get that first championship off your back, it's sort of like. When LeBron got that first championship with Miami, it's like that next year, bro. They just took off.
Yeah, fun that next
year. You see such a relaxed LeBron in that aspect of it. I feel like if that
Eastern Conference wasn't as hard as the Eastern Conference.
But I'm saying though, if they re-sign Porzingis and bring Drew Holiday back,
right.
and they stay in, it's a big if they stay healthy.
Right.
I think Horford is going to retire after this year. I don't think he's going to come.
No, you got a point about that. He's been in the league since like 06.
I don't think he's going to play another season. He finally got that championship.
After all those tries.
So I'm really happy for him. Yeah. But like I said, he won't be missed as much. Far as leadership, yes. But far as impact, no. Because especially if Porzingis is healthy. So I think this team will be even more dangerous. Next year, they'll be that much more experienced, and they both are still at the early stages of their prime. So I think this will be an even more dangerous team next year. It's just something about that winning mentality. And now that they got all that pressure of the world off their back, they'll be able to just go out and play.
Piggyback on that, bro. What you think?
I definitely agree. I was just going to ask you a question on Mook. So let's just say how you think it'll happen. Let's just say and they're playing the Pacers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say, Halliburton. I was about to say Tyrese, but Halliburton is just having a phenomenal game. They're down by 7. It's the fourth quarter. Let's say it's like 5 minutes left to go. Who's talking in that huddle? Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown been the most talkative.
talking.
He's been the leader on the sideline the whole time.
And let me ask you a second question with that. Do you think that Jason Tatum feels like his voice wouldn't be as impactful as his?
But here's the thing with Jason Tatum.
In your opinion,
I think Jason Tatum gets it.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
so many players.
I'm glad you said
So many
that.
players
You think he's
are
self-aware?
over the cock. Man, this guy, just from hearing him talk, and he could just be saying he could be very well media trained.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in,
Mm-hmm.
the guy gets it, man. He
Okay.
understands his role. He understands who he is as a basketball player. He knows he's going to be the highest paid player in the NBA next year,
Okay.
probably. So the guy gets it.
So here's what I would say to all of this. Yes, I think Tatum is self-aware, which is great. I think that the bond in the relationship and what they've built is absolutely
brotherhood.
amazing. Because we have, at least from what I can remember, at least in the recent NBA from the 2000s to now, we haven't seen another young duo like this. Like basically drafted a year apart in age, and then basically play out the prime of their career together and have this type of success.
Yeah.
Russ and KD almost did, but then that ended
This
up
is like
falling.
year 6 for them
This
too.
that ended up falling
I
apart.
think they lasted 8 years.
Now,
huh?
what's going to be interesting though? What will be interesting from this is, and this is what I was saying, the East that Brown played in, it was easier than the East that is today, because the East that Brown played in, once you got to Miami, Boston, they're all on the back. Like KG has even said it, they were on the back end of their careers. They were out of their prime on the back end. You had Indiana, but Indiana wasn't a real threat. Paul George was young. Roy Hibbert was cool from time to time. Then everybody else on that team was a journeyman. Miami was just going to outgun them at the end of the day. You insert whoever else, there are too many flaws. The NBA, the East that we have now is top heavy because you still have Joel, you have Maxey, and Philly. They have the money to go get another player to put us at third star. We have Milwaukee. We're gonna have Dame and Giannis with another year together, and both of them should be coming back healthy. All reports say that they're good. They're gonna have to see them healthy. So just between those two, and we don't know what Miami's going to do, because Miami's always doing so. Yeah, he's going to be back as well. He's on contract. Miami always finds a way to be in the mix some way, somehow, even if they play dead until the playoffs. And then you got teams like Indiana, who's young, getting better.
Don't forget the Knicks.
So and the Knicks, yeah, another team. So the East has ballers. So I say all this to say this: if Boston some way somehow doesn't get back to the place that they are now, are we going to end up seeing Tatum, the voices get louder, like, dang, I didn't get that Finals MVP. I'm losing credibility off of that. Because they're going to bring that up when it talks about, when you think about all-time Celtics.
You make really good points, but at first I wasn't a believer. Look at my past tape.
You still won't say how many games they was gonna lose by.
Yeah, bro. they're gonna sweep this series.
Yeah, for sure.
But they have made me a believer, and so much of a believer because the growth that I've seen Brown make, like you can tell this dude went in the off season, bro. He said, "Well, I'm weak at," and he still got a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna come back even better next year.
I can't believe he was Jason Tatum, all NBA team.
And then Jason Tatum gonna come back even better because he's like, man, they even in your thought,
the competitive nature.
To be great, you gotta feel like I'm the best player in the world. And you can't. He's saying the right things, but in his mind, he was like, I'm gonna show them that I'm the real alpha. And Jaylen Brown, he did make a statement saying that he wanted to be first team all defense. and he didn't get the nod for that either.
Right.
So he's gonna be working even harder for that, and I feel like they're gonna be even more motivated. Once you get a taste of that championship, it's like after you win it, you want it. All you can think about is winning it again. I'm so convinced that this team gonna be better next year that I think they're gonna be chasing that Golden State record. When they was 73 and 9. I'm telling you, I know it seems far fetched, man. But this team, man, if they stay intact,
that's high praise.
like if they stay intact, and they made me a believer.
You think they can win
because
74-8?
because they got the ability, man. This team got the ability, man. Like, and y'all both made good points. Like the way they're able to switch all 5 positions.
Yeah.
And Porzingis coming back and healthy, and he fits in so seamless, to this team. And Drew Holiday, what he do? It's just like you got the 3-headed monster, man. Like name a backcourt that dominant at defense. You know what I'm talking about? You got three two-way.
The last one
guys.
The last one you saw like that, where the backcourt's locking up like that, would have been Drew Holiday and Rondo.
Yeah, so I'm saying but it's a 3-way. Well, it's a 3-way because you got Jason Tatum, who can be a top defender.
It's 4 really, because then Jaylen Brown.
And then Porzingis is a top.
Porzingis is blocking too. That's a
tough. He just not.
And then you got Derek
He
White.
guards the perimeter.
And then you got Derek White, who can also be a first. They whole starting lineup could be a all-team defense. So to have a team this talented and like to see the way the ball moves, it's like. If you go man to man, they're gonna break you out the dribble. Mm-hmm. If you go to zone, you see wherever you go zone, they're gonna just make a couple of passes. They're gonna pass through the zone and they're gonna get a wide open 3-point shot. Yeah. It's either you give them the 3, which they shoot that at a very high clip, or they drive on you.
Yeah, but what
and they move the ball so
yeah.
No, they do. But what teams like Philly and the Bucks have, Joel and Giannis are still going to bully whoever Boston has on defense. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, man, that's just something to consider. But what were you going to say about all this?
In regards to your take previously about how the Eastern Conference was easier than it is now, I vehemently disagree. Disagree. You gotta remember, you had prime Derrick Rose in Chicago Bulls.
That was very short-lived.
It didn't matter.
He got hurt.
That was like 4 years. That was like 3-4 years.
Most of that Brown was in Cleveland.
11, 12, 13. He got hurt in 14. That was 3-4 years.
Them Indiana teams wasn't no joke either.
Indiana.
No.
Roy Hibbert was a 2-time.
Rose came in 08.
Yes, he won finals. He won MVP in
11. And then he got hurt in 12.
No, he didn't get hurt the next year. He got hurt like the 13-14 season.
I thought he may get hurt. I thought it was like a 2-year run for him, and then he got hurt.
Let me see. Go ahead.
I could be wrong though.
Keep talking.
But he did get. But that was the year where Drew Holiday played for the Philly, and I think it was Andre Iguodala's last year when they had won or something like that, and then they went to the second round against the Heat with Evan Turner, and they lost in like 6 games or something like that. But yeah, so they had Prime D Rose, of course those. They had Prime D Rose. You had Prime Indiana with Paul George, Danny Granger,
Hibbert.
Roy Hibbert, not Roy Hibbert, just Stevenson. Also, old buddy that played for the Warriors towards the end of his career. He got crossed by Chris Paul. Dang, what's his name?
You talking about
He played for in his prime. He played for New Orleans with Chris Paul. Is it? Why am I thinking of David Wesley? That's not his name.
Brendan Knight.
No, not Brendan Knight. He was a power forward. What's his name? He was cold too.
I don't know.
Also, Rose got hurt 12-13.
Okay.
Well, he got hurt 11-12 because he only played 39 games that year.
He was never.
That was 11-12. So that's super early. That's Bron's second ring.
But even so, That's who he went up against in the Eastern Conference.
Hey, them
Finals.
Atlanta Falcons team.
But that was 11-12 that he went up against them in the Eastern. That's 10-11.
Yeah.
So that's the first year. The next year
he won MVP.
No.
If you just said 10-11 is when he went there, he won MVP in 11, and you tell me 11-12 he was hurt?
The next year is when he got hurt.
11-12 he was hurt.
11-12.
Even still so, he still had to see that Derrick Rose. That team was dangerous. There was a great defensive team.
Derrick Rose played 39 games the next year.
I'm not talking about that year. I'm talking about that team that he saw.
Okay. So that's
when
year.
when he went in the final, when he went to see the Mavs in the finals, he had to pass up that MVP D Rose.
That year.
That's what I'm saying. He had to go against him. Then we can talk about other years.
And then after that, he won it.
We can talk about other years in regards to Indiana, having to see Indiana. He had to beat the best mellow Knicks team. That team was
that team wasn't that team. They were okay.
That team was good. That team was third in the East that year.
Somebody had to be.
East. It's not somebody has to be. That was a good team. You're just making it small because you're trying to compare it to
nobody believed in the Knicks going to the finals.
Your argument is that this is better than that. What Bron had to face, what Boston is facing now is better than what Bron faced, and I'm saying no because he had to go up against several teams that could compete with Boston now. That Indiana Pacers team was low. Can you pull up that Indiana Pacers team in 2012?
Well, to your point,
I'm trying to think of that power forward.
To your point, this Boston run has been much easier than the LeBron run because I would say they went against in the first round. They went against
I don't even know who they saw the first round.
They went against Miami without Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
They went against a Cleveland Cavaliers team without Allen and without Donovan Mitchell.
Got them
and then they got the Indiana and went through a team without
Halliburton.
So
I'm talking about not this current one. I'm talking about years to come. I'm talking about with Philly
about the future.
Yeah, I'm talking about next year.
Argue the future versus.
Well, I thought you were talking about this.
That's not.
I wasn't arguing this.
There's been a cakewalk.
I was gonna say no. I wasn't arguing this year. But then, if we talk about this year, Dallas looked like giant killers, and we see what they're doing to Dallas. So if Boston was over on that side, they would be doing the same thing. We are literally in perspective.
But Minnesota had a glaring weakness.
Hold on real fast. Put something in perspective. This is the first time since 2009 that a team beat 3 50-plus winning teams to go to the finals. The last time this happened was Kobe. It was Kobe when Kobe went to the finals and won against the Celtics. So it's like this is an anomaly of anything if we want to keep it 1,000. This is not like a regular thing. You don't see like the number 8 seed or not. I won't say number 8 seed. You don't see a lower seed just climbing to the ranks like that.
There was a 5 seed, 6 seed.
They were 5.
They were 5 because
the
last time a bottom seed won, shout out to my Rockets, was the 93 Rockets. They was a 6th seed. That's the last time that's the first time a seed lower than the 5th seed won a championship. The league has been alive for 76 years. These are anomalies that we're talking about. We're not talking about these are like Mavs are giant slayers. This is not that MO. You gotta remember.
But what they are,
they lost in 2007. They was the number 1 seed and they lost to the Warriors.
What does that have to do with
what I'm saying that these are anomalies that are occurring. These are not things.
You say Dallas beating these teams
was an anomaly. It's not beating these 50-plus win teams.
Okay, no.
Is an anomaly.
The event happening
is an anomaly.
But them beating them was just
it happened
back. Because it's not like a football game where you could just beat someone once and you just had to beat them like the Giants and the Patriots. No, I beat you 4 times.
No, the point I'm making,
I beat them 4 times.
The point I'm making when I say this is an anomaly is to say like this is not something that we're gonna have an expectation of seeing moving forward. That's what I'm saying.
I can agree with both of you, but I'm gonna have to go with JB on this one because this Dallas Maverick team is not a typical 5 seed. They're not a 5 seed. With the trades they made in the midseason, and they're not a 5 seed.
The teams that they're beating and how they
if you look at
dominantly.
If you look at after the trade deadline, this was like a top 1 or 2 seed after the trade deadline.
Right.
So two things can be true.
Two
things can be true. This team took off after the trade deadline.
They
did.
So this is not your normal 5 seed.
I
So I don't
agree.
think it's an anomaly, but I can get what you're saying. But based on what he's saying,
Let me ask you this. Do you think that what you think their seed placement is going to be next season?
That's hard to tell.
Man, it's so hard to get.
If we're going to go with what you're saying and saying this is they're a better team than what their seed represents.
It depends on who goes where, though.
If this team is how it is constructed into the next season, and we get to the postseason this time next year, where do you think their seeding is going to be?
They can be 2 or 3.
Here's the thing.
And this is assuming that all teams stay the same. Like
No. This is just assuming what was it, if this Dallas team is still constructed the way it is into the next season.
Right.
Come
what would their record?
Come May. No, not
Come
their
April.
record. Not record.
Or
Come
seeding.
April. What's their seed?
This is
Josh said top 2, top 3. What you
I don't think they could very well be a 5 seed again. We seen 50-win teams in the play-in game. The Lakers was a 50-win team.
Right.
So the
They won
West
50 last year?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah, they won 50
They got
games,
50.
50+ games.
Jeez.
So and that was in the play-in game. So with the West, and that explains how the Celtics could dominate in a weaker division and then dominate in the finals, because whoever come out the West is gonna be battle tested. They're gonna have to go through a battle.
Fatigue.
For fatigue, and they getting beat up. The West is so much more physical too as well.
Dallas won the Clippers series in 6, right?
And that goes back again to what you said about 2 things can be right. I would never sit here ever and tell you that the West is not a better conference than the East.
Right.
I was only going with him and saying that when LeBron had to go through to see those finals,
Right.
But the West was better than the East at that time.
That wasn't a cakewalk. That wasn't a cakewalk. It was just so happened that
Right.
it was LeBron James.
But I'm saying to the fact of a lot of time when that Western Conference team get to the finals, man, they are so much more beat up and tired, because you come through a loaded West, man.
Yeah, that's true.
The West is so loaded, man. Any team that come out the West, they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna have.
We say that, but if we look at probably the last 10 championship winners, most of the time it comes out. I'm pretty sure it leads heavy to the West. We have the Nuggets, we have the Warriors.
Well, the Warriors were super stacked, and they won 4.
But think about how battle tested you gotta be. A lot of times when you that battle tested, I mean,
I was gonna say, even the Spurs.
Oh, no,
you got the
3.
Spurs.
They won 3.
You got the Spurs. You got the
Well, no, they
Warriors.
won. What'd you say? Last how many years?
If we go back 10, so that's
14.
2014.
it's been going way. It's been farther than that.
So we got the Spurs.
It goes all the way back.
We got the Warriors with them getting, and that's 4 for the Warriors in that time frame.
It go all the way back to Shaq and Kobe early years, like them Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
And Lakers.
The Blazers.
No. The West is definitely way more a better.
Okay.
Even the
Spurs, bro. Them OKC and the Spurs.
Even the divisions,
because
even the
they're-
divisions are more competitive.
But tell me this: when Brown was with Miami,
Okay.
who was the Joel Embiid who won an MVP? Who was the Giannis who won an MVP and multiple MVPs and Defensive Player of the Year and a ring?
Joel Embiid won a pity MVP. We already know that.
No.
Yes, he did.
Nah, don't just.
No, I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just telling the truth. He won a pity MVP.
Did he lead the league in score?
The
year that he won?
No, he didn't. He won a league. He won. Yeah, I think he won. I think so.
Because who did?
No. I think it was the one that Porzingis won. Joker won. And the last one that Joker won before this one. I don't think he led the league in scoring until this year. No, he won last year.
I think Joel
Embiid won last year?
Yeah, he won last year,
Okay,
and he led the league in scoring. Brown didn't go up against anybody in the Eastern Conference
He led the league in scoring.
who won the MVP and led the league in scoring.
He led the league in scoring. Granted, However, at the same time, it was still a pity award because we just saw how amazing Joker was. And just to top it off, leading the league in scoring, although it has value, when we talk about you being the best player in the league, that's not really saying much. From the standpoint of James Harden has won MVP and led the league in scoring as well. And the only thing we ever talked about James Harden in regards of being a good player is when he scored 100 this game.
Right.
You know? So it's like, I don't see the two as scoring the ball more than everyone else and being the best overall talent on the team as synonymous. It's just me.
And here's my thing. LeBron, you can't say he just cakewalk because LeBron has faced more Hall of Famers than anybody.
But no. He faces
on his way
not on the way.
On the way.
When he gets to the finals.
The Celtics,
On the way too.
the Pistons, the Celtics, the Pistons.
No.
He had to go through the Pistons, the Celtics. He had to go.
If you talk about the
So let's look at this, and then we're gonna get back. So we have the first set of years when Brown was there. The Pistons, they have their two Hall of Famers. They have Ben Wallace and they have Chauncey Billups. That's who he went.
He had no Hall of
That's
Fame
who he went
talent
to
on his team.
No, for sure. I definitely agree with that. Would never argue that. And he's way better than both of them. I would definitely give you that. Okay. So that was on the way to the final. Those were the two Hall of Famers. Right. When he ended up going against Boston.
Those Orlando teams too.
Hold on, bro. Because Orlando doesn't have the only
is Dwight.
It's Dwight. Dwight's the only Hall of Famer on that squad.
But that Orlando team,
they were a good team.
That was a perfect fit around.
Well, I remember they gave.
But no, for real. So I believe, and y'all can let us know in the comments. I feel like Boston going forward is gonna have a harder road than Bron had going forward, just off of the level of comp. Because Bron didn't go against an MVP who led the league in scoring, and Bron didn't go against. Bron didn't. Yes, Boston will have to, and Bron didn't
have to. He's not gonna be MVP, and then they can score anymore.
No, but he at no point did he go against an MVP. And
neither did Boston. They didn't go against a
Boston. Okay, yes.
Was half
Boston
a man.
Boston beat.
It was half a man. He was limping on the floor.
Hey,
it was half a man.
And then we have Giannis. We have Giannis who has multiple MVPs, defensive players, and a ring. Bron didn't have to go against that in the East either on his way to winning, where he's like actively that guy. And then Dame, who's also a top 75
All
player.
these players that you're talking about, Bron beat Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in the Eastern Conference.
Yes, that was
right?
Younger.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, when he beat them today,
NBA,
when he beat them today.
Hold on. Let me get this out.
Go ahead.
When you're in the NBA, you are literally the top 1% of basketball players around the world.
Yes.
When you are having like 50-win seasons, 61 seasons, you are .000.
Listen, they're the 1% of the 1%. I hear you.
Of the best talent in the world.
Yeah.
And Bron saw that when he was on the back end. He didn't see that at 24. He saw that at like 34.
They're 25 and 26 now. They were like 21 and 22 then.
And how old was Bron?
Let me see. Bron's 38 right now?
Yes.
Bron's 38, so he would have been like
32, 33.
32?
Birthday's in December.
Come on, bro. Come on, stop.
And he's not 32.
We're not talking about 32.
I think he's 39.
We're not talking about 32 in the 80s.
It doesn't matter when.
All right, so what we now?
We need the people to help us out.
We need the people to help us out.
You gotta respect the road, man. And you from Ohio. You doing your state a disservice right now.
No. Brown is the second.
I know you got family and friends in Ohio.
Hey.
Flame him up. Let him know. All he talking about is Ohio. I think you know what it is.
What's up?
I think because LeBron left you twice, but he left you once with a ring.
No. Bron
left you once with a ring.
We are forever grateful to Bron for getting that ring.
And you should have seen how hurt. If you knew him in 2010, after this, we can move forward. If you knew Josh in 2010, and you talked about Bron leaving, or 11, you talked about Bron leaving to Miami, It was boy. You thought the Christian boy was a senator when he was 13.
Hey,
What?
And the crazy thing is, everybody was mad. Everybody was mad at LeBron.
Yeah,
But
they
they should have been mad at Delonte West.
What you mean?
Yeah,
Wow, don't do that.
What you mean? Wow.
No.
What you mean?
Why was I mad?
Why would you be mad? Why wouldn't you want to see somebody from Ohio flourish?
We'll get into this another day in time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't even want to speak on it. That's cool.
Let's go ahead and turn over here.
It's
Yo,
cool.
you were talking about Drew Holiday. That's his guy. I think Drew Holiday's a heck of a player. Bro, talk about Drew Holiday. Go ahead and give him his props.
Man,
It's all good, bro.
we was having this discussion, I think yesterday, man, and I was just telling this guy that Drew Holiday, I got a new name for Drew Holiday. They should call him Mr. Put your team over the hump. If you struggling to get a
horrible name.
championship, if you struggling to get a championship and you feel like you right there, don't sign Drew Holiday, bro. You'll become a champion.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Drew Holiday could probably get another $200 million contract out of somebody. Somebody can get. I think he locked in right now for 5 or 4 years. Okay. I'm opting out year 3. I'm trying to get me one last one. Yeah. He did that with the Bucks with his weak self. He should have just told the Bucks he's gonna retire. That's the only reason why they traded for Dame. They wouldn't have traded him for Dame. He over there in retirement, trying to get some more money. Just tell us next time, man. Milwaukee got it.
No, honestly, because I know if it was between him and Chris Middleton, that almost hurts like Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris, bro. Because like Chris Middleton is a good player. Drew's better. I always thought Drew was better.
But you know, 6'8" forwards with his footwork giving you 20 a game, they don't just grow on trees.
Man, they don't, but Drew does so much that it's just
in this situation, I don't feel bad about the decision because I feel like a healthy Chris Middleton and a healthy Giannis, that team will be right back where they need to be.
I agree.
And they'll be a formidable team.
With Dame, I think so.
Ultimately, I do think Drew Holiday was a better fit.
Absolutely.
For the Milwaukee Bucks.
Absolutely.
And it was crazy to let him go because even though, don't get me wrong, Dame Lillard is a great player.
Yeah, I do it.
But he don't play, to me, I haven't seen him play championship level basketball.
You're right about that. It's just that his mental off right now.
Even that year they went to the Western Conference Finals, Draymond just picked them apart.
But they didn't have a chance. They didn't have a chance.
Really?
They lost it.
They was up double digits in every single game.
No, not in every single game.
But the games that they was up, honestly, it wasn't a Dame Lillard thing.
Do you know how?
No, he's right. Okay, but it wasn't a Dame Lillard thing. That was C.J. McCollum.
No.
Dame Lillard. He had one game where he went off for like 40-something though.
Dame Lillard couldn't score.
Yes.
They would shut them down in the second half.
Crazy.
In the second half, they would shut both of them guys down.
But I'm just talking about the series.
They had double digits leads in they got swept. They had a double digit lead in every game.
But that was around that time where no lead was safe.
And Kevin Durant was hurt that whole series.
You sure?
The whole series, he didn't play.
He was hurt most of it.
And they still got swept.
Was he there?
No, he was there. He was hurt.
Was that 17?
That was 2018.
No, 18 was the Rockets when we saw
him. That was 2018.
No, that was 2019.
That was 19?
That was 20. I'm looking at it right now. That's 2019.
Durant was there though. He was there.
Yeah, that was 2019.
He was hurt.
And then
that's the year they lost to Kawhi to the Toronto Raptors.
So they saw them. Oh, you're right. I thought that was 17.
No, that was 18.
No. So then in that year, that's the.
That was 18.
Oh yeah, Dame averaged 22.
Yeah, he had a bad finals.
Yeah, Dame.
CJ McCollum was going off.
And CJ only averaged 22 as well.
To get there, no, that's what CJ McCollum averages. So
now that was more like an anomaly. Now that year, it was more of an anomaly. If you say you can say they was an anomaly.
Yeah, they should.
Even though they was the 3rd seed that year.
Who they beat that second round?
Steph had 36 in that shit.
That was the year he signed.
They beat the Nuggets. That
was the year he signed OKC and Paul George packing at the half court line shot. When he waved to him.
Yeah.
That was that.
But who was it they play though? Didn't they play the Nuggets? Nuggets, OKC Warriors, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll say that to say, it's been a lot of times where he'll get to the biggest games and he'll kind of froze and he'll have
That's
a
why
point
you
where
have
he can't make
Giannis.
any shots.
That's why you have Giannis.
But I'm saying to the fact
But he
of
was hurt.
when it comes down to playoff
Yeah, this
basketball,
year.
when it comes down to playoff basketball and guys keying on what you do best,
Mm-hmm.
Damian Lillard has come up short a lot of times. And
All the pressure has been on him,
And he's
though.
already not a top defender.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but all the
right.
pressure has been on him.
Absolutely right.
If you put him in a situation like with the Bucks, the pressure's not all the way on him. Like
Yes, it
Giannis,
is.
no, to this extent, it's like Giannis is gonna give you 28 to 40 points in any given game. Am I lying?
Josh,
Can he give you hey, the gap is good. He can give you a 28.
The gap is crazy.
He can give you a 28 game. He can give you a 40 game with like 10 to 12 rebounds.
I'm just
etc.
saying in this aspect.
But that makes it easier for Dame.
I'm just saying in this aspect.
That's all I'm saying. It makes
I'm
it
just
easier.
saying, and
then they got to collapse on
I'm not
Giannis.
hating on Dame. I love Dame. Dame is
Yeah.
my top 5 players, like as far as me watching.
Yeah.
And I like Dame.
He's a very
I
exciting
don't
player.
want to say nothing bad, but I just got to be real. Damian Lillard, when he's not making shots, he's a liability on the floor. I've seen plenty of times when he shot his team out of the game.
Yeah.
Because he just kept shooting and he wasn't making shots. If he's not making shots, he's not
He
moving the
He
needle.
got to start
Like
embracing.
Drew Holiday can do different things. He got a post-up game where he'll put you in the post, and he's
Drew's not a better
defend.
scorer than Dame.
We're not saying, but his impact is not just scoring.
Yeah.
He impact the game in a lot of different ways.
But you're not
He's a
drafting.
good cutter.
You're not drafting Drew Holiday over Dame.
He needs to be. He needs
No, it
to,
ain't about drafting. I'm saying it's about fit at this point.
Yeah. Now, if it's one thing, who's the better player is Dame.
No, I'm
who's
saying,
a better fit
but I'm
depending
saying,
on the team you have.
I'm not saying. I'm saying play championship basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Steve Nash was a better player than. I'm trying to see who his company be. Steve Nash was a better player than Jason Kidd. But that team was better because of everything else. Like Dallas Mavericks had Steve Nash for a long time.
Yeah.
With Dirk.
With
With Dirk Nowitzki, right? And we would say, based off MVPs and everything, that Steve Nash was a better player.
Okay.
But Jason Kidd was a better fit, and he played championship winning basketball. He did more things that impacted winning.
Are
than Steve
you
Nash.
saying?
Okay.
I get what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
And I'm kind of getting the similarity between Jason Kidd and Drew Holiday. Are you saying that because Dame has the ball in his hands too much, or he's not deferring too much to?
Not even that. I'm saying
Because
just
that's
a
what-
flow. You're
that-
saying more flow, right?
No,
That's what
I'm
Jason
saying more
Kidd
flow.
and Drew Holiday both did. They both
I'm saying
were
more-
better at deferring to the better players.
I'm saying more flow. Sometimes you can be a better player, but you don't play winning basketball.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't play
I
championship.
You're talking about from an IQ standpoint.
Drew Holiday played like Russell Westbrook is better than most other players that have won
But
championships.
winning basketball, he
But
does
he
not
does
play
it
that well.
And I love Russell. He's my
Yeah.
favorite player.
Well, we not gonna
He
do.
does not play championship
It's
winning
talk
basketball.
about my brother Russell Westbrook.
It's a reason why he
It's
It's a reason why he haven't won the championship.
You know why he doing that? Russell sent him a little video message talking about happy birthday.
You know-
that's why he doing that. That's why he doing that.
no.
Russell's always been one of my
Russ,
favorite players.
and we on the same page. I love Russell.
No, I like
But
Russell.
don't get me wrong. And the only reason why I don't say that about Chris Paul because everybody know that if
He
Chris
gets
Paul
hurt.
wouldn't have got hurt,
against the Warriors.
If he wouldn't have got hurt,
That would hurt my
championship.
He would have won several championships
They would've
if
won
it
that
wasn't for his
championship.
hamstrings.
Yeah.
He got the worst
They would have beat
hamstring
Toronto.
in NBA.
They would have beat
history.
Toronto in 18.
Yeah, if they would have gotten past us in 15, they would have beat the Warriors.
And even
Braun.
with them getting hurt, they had to miss 27 threes in a row to lose that game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we lost in single digits.
That's crazy for sure.
Yeah.
But so Drew Holiday, we can all say he's the man. He steps up.
Yeah.
Now Drew Holiday, I'll say this, just piggybacking off our last week's conversation. We could save this. We could just pin this for another day. But Drew Holiday, two championships, a couple all defensive awards.
Hall of Fame.
Can we see him in the Hall of Fame?
First ballot.
No, we'll pin it for another day. We'll pin it, the Swiss Army knife. But just
the resume is growing.
And then he's a 2-time teammate of the year too.
Well, I mean,
and he gets it done out the court too.
Well, I don't know about that part. However, just on the court,
the resume is growing for Hall of Fame, but it doesn't always just stop.
And he's been an All-Star.
Yes, he has.
And he's been the number one.
He's been an All-Star
and he's
twice.
been the number one on the ticket too with Philadelphia.
Yeah, he was an All-Star in Philly.
All right, so we're going to pin that for another day.
Well, he just needs the numbers.
Okay, so real quick, we're going to switch over to the WNBA for a second. Tell me this. What do y'all think about Caitlin Clark not making the Olympic team?
No, she's an alternate now.
Okay, but so she's an alternate?
Yeah, she's an alternate.
She's going to play in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, so it comes down for me then, it's this. Angel Reese and Brink. Do you feel like they should also be on the team?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact,
think Angel Reese, man, because
I think
been balling.
Nah, she's like very inconsistent. She's like but she's very consistent rebounding wise and defense. But on the other side of the ball, she's very inconsistent. She'll have a 13-point game. She'll have a 20-point game. She'll have a 10-point game. She'll have a 19-point game. She'll have an 18-point game. She'll have a 4-point game. Like, she's just very inconsistent offensively, and I wouldn't want that representing my country. But what I was gonna say is,
you think she's gonna be doing this in the Olympics, bro?
That's brand. She the one thing about these new girls coming out of college, they are brand conscious. So she did this in the game. She like,
I don't think she'll do it in the Olympics.
Why she wouldn't?
I don't think.
No,
Unless somebody talking that mad noise.
Boom.
Big buddy.
Boom. So, she might be doing that to hype herself up. But what I was going to say was there is
Caitlin was the one
a point guard that plays for the Sparks. It's I think it's Chine's older sister.
Who's been like second in scoring?
Arinke, Agumbawale. She is hooping. Yeah. When I say hooping, she is hooping, hitting threes at a higher clip than Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark's best shooting game in regards of 3-point percentage was the game she scored 30. Right. When I think she was like 5 for 8 or 6 for 8 from 3 or something like that. But she's shooting, besides that game, she's shooting 29% from 3.
Hey, it really don't matter who on the team. As long as they got Asia Wilson, they're going to dominate.
That's what I'm saying. So here's what
I'm just saying.
But think about it like this. Brian and Melo were young when they were on the squad. When they went to the Olympics and they were on the squad. Yeah, no, for sure. But also, we knew they were the next.
And they
faces.
also finished with the run.
We also knew that they were the next faces of the league.
Yeah.
But also, we didn't send our best players over there.
Nah.
Outside of
that year, we
didn't. Kobe didn't go, Shaq didn't go,
Kevin Garnett didn't go.
Yeah, certain guys didn't go. Who should have been over?
KG did go.
Wait,
what year are you talking about? Are you talking about 2000?
The
Bruns.
2004.
He talking about the Bruns.
The 4. Yeah, the 04 year.
That was 04. No, KG didn't go to that. KG was at 2000.
Right. So this being the case, on the men's side, they've sent young players who weren't necessarily the best in the league at that time, but you knew that these are the futures of the NBA.
However,
and putting them in front of the main stage. With the WNBA, they've lost, I think it was like 1 game in the Olympic tournament in the last, I think it was like 8-9 years.
Man, they're gonna want it. They're gonna want it every year.
So look, exactly. So if you send like, let's say the roster has 12, 9 women who are just absolute hoopers, and you put 3 rookies with them, they're still gonna beat everybody by 15 to 30 to 40 points, whatever the game calls for that day. I know it's a big gap, blah blah blah. but for real.
The nerve of you trying to insult me with the rhetoric that's coming out your mouth. I said nothing. Don't touch that to me, my God.
No, but for real though. But honestly, it really doesn't matter who they put over there. They still gonna win. Yeah. So why not already be promoted in the face? Then they get used to it. So in 4 years, they're gonna be like, oh, we already been here. We got to see the vets in action. We know what to do. We got a little playing time when we were blowing out insert trash team here by 40. So we know how it is. We know what to expect and what to do.
The Olympics run a 5 to 7 man squad? You don't think they use all 12?
The men don't. The men don't. I
The
feel like the women might.
The women, they play everybody.
Yeah,
they beat everybody by like 40.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same way. Like
That's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say, like,
you said, they're not gonna take her. I'm like,
no, that's what I'm saying. No. But what I'm saying is the front nine are gonna blow everybody out by so much that the last three, which are the rooks, they could come in and it's like, y'all not gonna mess this up.
True.
You're not going to mess this up. You guys, talent wise, are already better than them.
I'm gonna be
just
honest,
from natural talent.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they could take South Carolina.
Take them to the Olympics?
No, I think they could take the South Carolina team and win the Olympics.
that's nuts.
Honestly,
But
I'm
it's
just
not
for real.
far-fetched.
I'm for real.
It's
That's how much
nuts.
better. That's how much better the women.
They used to think that about. They used to think that about Duke.
No, it's
Before
not
we found
that.
out they were sending journeymen to the league.
You can't now. You can't do that now in the men's.
Nah, you can't do that in the men's.
Because the top 3 of the top 5 players are not even American right now. So
True.
So,
But after that, it's all American.
yeah.
After that, it's pretty much all American. But yo, on a serious note, we've lost some legends. We lost Bill Walton.
Yeah.
We lost Jerry West.
Yeah.
The logo, also one of the
R.I.P.
greatest GMs in the history of GMs.
Yeah.
So condolences to their
Condolences to
family,
your family.
the basketball family, the
Yeah.
NBA, just everybody.
Absolutely.
Man, he put together some teams that have had us just shook.
You know, he kept that Warriors team together. They was getting ready to break that up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he kept that. He helped keep that together. And
Between that, the Lakers teams,
Mhm.
man. So those are definitely two legends.
Let's not forget about Bill Walton,
he
man.
put together that Clippers team this year.
Bill Walton as a commentator, man, he's one of the best to do
Best.
it.
And
Color
Bill
commentators, man.
Walton as a player as well. His career got shortened because of injuries. But if you go back and look at that finals that he won in Portland, he went stupid.
Yeah.
First player to win an MVP in the NBA, and then after winning the MVP, win 6th Man of the Year like 2 years later or something like that. 3 years
man.
later, like he was just different. I think the only championship that Portland got was because of
him, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like he was just a wonderful player, man.
I mean, the contribute that they made to the NBA and basketball all over the world, they're gonna
For
be
sure.
missed. They're gonna be missed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, RIP to both of them.
For sure. Yo, thank you for checking in with us. We really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
All that good
We're
stuff.
going to check y'all again. Football season's going to be coming up soon. We're going to keep the basketball rolling, but we're going to also insert some football in another one, so be looking out for that. Again, we appreciate you.
I'm just curious. I know
What's
you're
up,
doing
bro?
the outro, but
What's up?
why are you talking about football? Your team trash.
Hey, my team's great. Shout out to the Browns. Shout out to my brother E, even though he trash. Basura. And shout out to my brother Mook. It's always a pleasure chopping it up with y'all. We're going to see y'all next week. Nothing nice. One love.
Yes, sir.